963 Leo VIII elected Pope. In 1060 Béla I is crowned King of Hungary in Székesfehérvár. In 1160 Jean Bodels mystic play Jeu de St Nicholas premieres in Arras. In 1196 northern Dutch coast flooded, the St Nicholas Flood. In 1240 Mongols led by Batu Khan occupy and destroy Kyiv after an 8-day siege. Out of 50,000 people in the city, only 2,000 survive. In 1273 Thomas Aquinas, thought to have had a mystical experience in Naples, refuses to continue his work. I cannot, because all that I have written seems like straw to me. Expulsion from Aragon 1424 Don Alfonso V of Aragon grants Barcelona the right to exclude Jews. Pope Clement VII flees 1527 Pope Clement VII escapes imprisonment in the Castel Sant'Angelo in Rome, fleeing to Orvieto disguised as a peddler. In 1534 Quito, Ecuador, founded by Spanish colonists on the ruins of an Inca city. Transit of Venus 1631 Johannes Kepler is the first person to predict the transit of Venus, though no one observes it as it occurs after sunset in Europe. In 1641 Don Francisco de Mello appointed Land Guardian of South Netherlands. In 1648 Pride's purge, Thomas Pride prevents 96 Presbyterians from sitting in English Parliament. Charles VI's pragmatic sanction 1723 Holy Roman Emperor Charles VI's pragmatic sanction with the Diet of Hungary recognizes the king's daughters as successors. 1732 First play in American colonies acted by professional players in New York. In 1735 First recorded appendectomy performed by Claudius Amyand at St George's Hospital in London. In 1787 Laurens Pieter van Dispagel is appointed Dutch pension advisor. In 1790 the U.S. Congress moves from New York City to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. U.S. National Observatory 1825 U.S. President John Quincy Adams suggests establishment of a National Observatory. In 1841 Robert Schumann's Symphony No. 4 in D minor premieres. In 1843 Amsterdam-Utrecht Railway opens. In 1845 Alpha Sigma Phi Fraternity is founded at Yale College. La Damnation de Force 1846 Hector Berlioz's dramatic oratorio La Damnation de Force premieres, conducted by the composer at the Opéra Comique, Paris. Harriet Tubman escapes 1849 Harriet Tubman escapes from slavery in Maryland for the second and final time. Lincoln orders execution 1862 U.S. President Abraham Lincoln orders hanging of 39 Santee Sioux Indians. In 1864 Battle of DeVoe's Neck, South Carolina. 1865 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution is ratified, abolishing slavery except as a punishment for crime where the party has been duly convicted. 1. In 1866 Chicago Water Supply Tunnel 3227 m into Lake Michigan completed. In 1869 Colored National Labor Union First Black Labor Convention meets at Union League Hall in Washington, D.C. 1873 First International Football Game in U.S., Yale 2, Eton England 1 in New Haven, Connecticut. 1876 First Crematorium in U.S. begins operation, Washington, Pennsylvania. In 1876 the first cremation takes place at the Lemoyne Crematory in Washington, Pennsylvania, in the U.S. The first person to be cremated is Baron de Parme. Disputed election of 1876 U.S. Electoral College casts their votes in the disputed election between Rutherford B. Hayes and Samuel J. Tilden. Two sets of conflicting results are returned to Congress the next day. In 1877 Thomas Edison enters the offices of Scientific American and turns the crank on his cylinder phonograph, astonishing those present by having it say, "Good morning. How do you do? How do you like the phonograph?" 1. In 1877 Washington Post publishes first edition. In 1882 Atmosphere of Venus detected during transit. In 1884 aluminum capstone is set atop the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C., making it the tallest man-made structure in the world, overtaking Cologne Cathedral. In 1896 Japanese Zen Buddhist T. Suzuki has an awakening at Engakuji Temple in Kamakura. In 1897 London becomes the world's first city to host licensed taxicabs. In 1903, Sumatra Aceh's guerrilla leader Panglima Polam surrenders. In 1906, British grant Transvaal self-government. In 1907, coal mine explosions in Monongahela, West Virginia kills 361. In 1912, China votes for universal human rights. In 1913, White Sox beat Giants 9-4 in exhibition game in Tokyo. In 1914, German troops overrun Lodz. In 1916, World War I, the Central Powers under General Mackensen capture Bucharest. In 1917, French munition ship SS Mont Blanc collides with Norwegian SS Imo in Halifax Harbour, Canada, resulting explosion kills at least 1,700 and injures more than 9,000 people. World's largest pre-atomic explosion. In 1917, taking advantage of the temporary relaxation of authority in Russia, Finland declares itself a republic following Ukraine on 20 November. Liberal Party victory 1921, Canada's Liberal Party and its leader Mackenzie King defeats Arthur Mahan's Conservative Party and Thomas Crera Progressive Party in general election, goes on to form a minority government. 1922, First Constitution of Irish Free State comes into operation. 1922, First electric power line commercial carrier in U.S., Utica, NY. First U.S. presidential radio address 1923, First U.S. presidential address broadcast on radio by President Calvin Coolidge. In 1925, Italy, Britain and Egypt signed Jagbab Accord, ceding the previous Libyan territory of Jagbab to Egypt. In 1925, record 73,000 pay to watch Chicago Bears beat NY Giants 19-7. In 1928, the Banana Massacre, Colombian troops fire on striking United Fruit Company workers in Srinagar, killing about 1,000 people. In 1929, Turkey introduces female suffrage. Ulysses ban lifted. 1933, ban on James Joyce's novel Ulysses in the US is lifted. 1938, 117 Spanish knights under Capt Piet Laros returned to Netherlands. Ribbentrop-Bonnet Pact 1938, the Franco-German Declaration. Ribbentrop-Bonnet Pact is signed in Paris, recognizing existing borders and pledging both sides